What's up, Motorheads? We are back with another build of a very exciting electric car that really had us wondering, is this thing ever actually coming out, right? Well, it looks like they're actually getting really close, and anytime there's a new 1,000 horsepower brute coming out, well, we're interested. And yep, I am talking about that Lucid Air. For years now, Lucid has threatened to be Tesla's first real competitor. I mean, they unveiled their first challenger called the Air all the way back in 2016. Pulling a page from Tesla's playbook, this $100,000 plus sedan is the flagship for what is a much larger vision. And Lucid's claiming that they've got a whole bunch more of these models on the way, ultimately hoping to offer a luxury sedan in the $30,000 range by the end of the decade. Coming from a company who has supplied Formula E engines, we're stoked to see what they can offer as far as range and speed, right? And check this out. Back in June, Lucid actually claimed that they had created the world's most aerodynamic efficient luxury car. And this surprised us. I mean, I did not think anything was going to dethrone that G-Wagon, right? But what do I know? So, is this it? Is this the car that's going to dethrone Tesla? Or is this just a big, huge money pit of false promises, puppy dog tears, and missed delivery dates? Oh wait, who else does that remind you of? Alright, so here's the thing. Their model lineup's got a whopping 5 iterations to keep track of, but we got you. We got the single engine rear wheel drive Air Pure, and this fella's gonna get you about 400 miles on a charge. It's pretty solid. Comes with this 480 horsepower motor, which is good for a 0 to 60 sprint in about 4.2 seconds. Not bad, not bad. And it's got a top speed of 124 miles an hour, that's fine. Starting price for this fella, just over 77 grand. I mean, that's not too bad for the base model. All right, so moving up that list, and now we're sort of in that middle meat of the lineup. You know, it's like it's not the fastest stuff and it's not the cheapest stuff. It's just sort of the kind of like boring middle ones. But anyhow, I'm talking about that dual motor Air Touring and Air Grand Touring. So these bad boys, they're all-wheel drive and can bang out a 0 to 60 sprint in 3.2 seconds flat. And in the range department, how about 400 miles for the Touring and a crazy impressive 517 miles on the Grand Touring. All right, horsepower for the Air Touring comes in at about 620 with the starting price a shade under 100 grand. All right, the Air Grand Touring, now we're talking 800 horsepower. But boy, is that gonna cost you. Now we're all the way up to 140 grand. That's a lot of cheddar, but honestly, I mean, look, who's getting this when the real badass, the big boy is right around the corner? Sometimes you just gotta go big, so see you later, you mid and low level trims. Get out of here. We've got our eyes squarely set on the Air Dream Performance Edition. Yeah, so this is where you gotta decide, is 471 miles of range good enough? Yeah, well, then you can join that 1,000 horsepower club. Well, actually, you can join the 1,111 horsepower club. But look, if you need that full 520 miles of range, well, the trade-off is that power drops to an embarrassingly low 933 horsepower, and it's just not enough. I mean, good luck merging onto the freeway with that power. I mean, man, the crazy times we live in when the 900 horsepower option is not the top dog, right? So the first thing you might notice on the majority of these models is this like sort of crazy platinum roof. And I don't know, now Lucid seems to think that this design feature is something that most people are gonna like because, well, it seems to be like basically the standard and the only delivery option on the higher end models. Now, I don't know, maybe it's different in person, but at first glance, this thing is kind of a no for us. I mean, especially with that suggested Eureka Gold paint job, which Lucid seems to be kind of in love with. I mean, it's fine, I guess. It just kind of looks like your 1,000 horsepower hyper sedan's wearing a swimming cap, and I don't know if this is something you can unsee. Anyway, this two-tone of a disaster has got us thinking way back to the ultimate Grammy-mobile. I'm talking about that old school Lexus LS 400. I mean, did everybody's grandmother drive one of these things, or was it just mine? I don't know. Anyway, so platinum roof it is. So for me, that means we've got one option for paint, and it's black. But while we're up here though, I mean, we gotta take a look at this roof, this all glass roof. I mean, these glass roofs are getting pretty standard these days, but this one looks pretty great. And look, credit where credit's due, well done. Next up, we gotta take a look at those high tops. So So with the performance trim, you're getting 21s. And as far as these like efficient aero wheels go, these are actually pretty solid. I mean, me gusta, right? And there's also the option to drop down to 19s for like a softer ride, whatever. But I mean, they kind of look rental car lame, I guess. So I just don't do it, bro. Stick with the 21s. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at this interior where, well, yeah, this crazy two-tone bonanza just continues. I mean, they're dubbing this the quote-unquote Santa Monica Spec because it reminds them of a sunrise over LA's most iconic beach. All right. Anyway, as you'd suspect, this price range was kind of leather everywhere. There's this graphite color up front and this eucalyptus for the back. I mean, it's just weird. Why are you trying to get so cute with this, Lucid? I mean, just pick a lane. One color. One color is fine. So tech-wise, this thing is pretty studded out. I mean, you've got this 34-inch curved display up front that's taken over like the majority of the dash, and on the left we got your standard driver controls, window defrost, lighting, blah 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 blah. So you got this gauge cluster in the center, and on the right side you've got this more informational stuff. There's navigation, entertainment, all that stuff. You've also got this additional touchscreen that acts as your control panel for like air conditioning, seat adjustments, and what is probably the best feature in this whole freaking thing, that massage button. All right, so it's not as stark as the Tesla, but not as busy as the Germans. I mean, the Lucid does seem to have kind of found this nice middle ground on displays and text. So Lucid, we're gonna give you a little bit of love. You earned it. Good stuff. So all in all, we're finding this just, I don't know, maybe just a little hard to get super excited about, right? I mean, the range is freaking spectacular. I mean, it's beating Tesla for now. And the horsepower is bananas. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the type of car you're getting all that excited to go run errands in. Look, I mean, the exterior design is fine, I guess. And although the interior is noticeably spacious and tech forward, I mean, the likelihood of this thing turning any heads at the traffic lights are pretty low. I mean, even with that kind of crazy platinum roof. Now, on the other hand, if you're one of those dudes that gets driven around, well, I mean, the backseat does kind of feel like a pretty rad place to just like nap away the traffic, right? Anyway, if you're looking for stupid amazing range and some speedy straight lines and you can't imagine yourself ever getting into a Tesla, then this might be the EV for you. Or maybe this is just what grandma's replacing her 94 Lexus with. I mean, look, we're not exactly finding ourselves rushing out to plop down a substantial down payment for like a pretty nice house in one of these. I mean, it's cool enough, but I'm just not getting that blood pumping like something for this amount of cash should. So that's that for the Lucid Air, but we'll be back with some more Lucid stuff soon. So make sure to subscribe and smash that like button if you dig it.